All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of my podcast, Unleashed. And again, from my Spotify and other platform listeners, I'm now on YouTube as well. So check this out if you want to see the actual video of this interview. And today's special guest is actually from my own hometown. You're from Houston, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Born and
So what?
raised.
So if you would like to introduce yourself to everybody, what
Yeah,
is it you do? Go ahead.
how's it going, Kai? Thanks for having me. So I own Airport Daiquiris. Um, I also own another business called Money Market Financial Services. It's a tax office. Um, so multiple businesses, and I'm involved in different real estate things, investments. Just trying to move money around. A lot of people, they don't understand that, just because you get some money, you have to let it sit in the bank. You have to make that money make you money, and you have to do it fast because every day you're living your life, and that money is going down in your bank account. So if you're
Mhm.
not putting money back in there or figuring out ways to invest your money to have a return in 6 months of 50,000 or 75,000, then you're not really doing business. You're just running a business. And it took me 3 years to realize that. At least 3 years to realize that. And it comes with getting in there and having to work your ass off and sweat and realize, like, man, this isn't what I signed up for. I'm a business owner. Where's the business at? So, as a business owner, you got to go find the business. You got to go network. You got to get on podcasts with cool people that have followings, and like you, Kai, and you have to network. And I don't usually do these things because everybody always talks about, don't give free game to people. And I give free game all day. I don't usually do it on a podcast, but I would do it in person to anybody that needs it. Now, if it's a business person that wants to make money with my knowledge, then yeah, of course, we're going to sit down and have a business meeting, and you're going to pay me for my knowledge, and we're going to keep moving, and we're both going to benefit from the meeting. Uh, so, I mean, that's just kind of what I got going on right now as far as business. Um, if you got any other questions, I'm here for them.
Mhm. Awesome, man. So, Airport Daiquiris, what is it exactly? When did you get the idea, and where did it start?
Airport Daiquiri started 2017. Uh, me and my wife, we decided that she loves daiquiris, and around that time, I used to drink a lot. Shit, I would always tell her I want to open a bar. I want a bar. I want to open a bar. She's like, no, you drink too much. You're just gonna party it up. And we're gonna wait. We're gonna lose money. And she was right. I promise you, she's right. She was right the whole time. And now, I don't drink. I rarely drink. I may drink some champagne to celebrate something, but I don't drink a lot anymore. Uh, so now, as 3 years, we decided, okay, let's put this thing together. We started going to New Orleans and Bourbon Street, and we started taking our teams that we had at the time down there to go party and hang out and get the feel for what Airport Daiquiris was going to become, right?
Mhm.
Because the heart of daiquiris is from New Orleans, and it's 5 hours away, a drive from Houston, and we would do that drive at least, you know, 3 times a month just to go down there and figure out how we were going to build out our store and what we were going to do. So, the point of it is if you want to start a business and you want to start selling a product, do research. Go and do your research. Invest your money in yourself. Invest your money in your time uh, to what you are trying to learn. Because a lot of people don't learn what they need to learn when they start a business. They think, oh, well, I'm going to learn as I go. Yeah, you will. You will for sure learn as you go. But how much money will you lose along the way? That is the key now. So if you already researched and you know the game, then when the game comes at you, you're going to be ready for it. You're going to be ready to play it. And you're going to be able to play it as a star, not as a role player. You're like, oh, I already know this. I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Mhm.
So, we started it 3 years ago. It came in. Uh, we came in strong. We had a big marketing plan. Street marketing plan is what some marketing people will call it. now that I know what I know now, 3 years later, marketing is different in my mind now, because I made it a point to say, marketing is very important to any business that you're trying to start or trying to grow. You have to market your business. Uh, what is it becoming? Airport Daiquiris is going to become one of the biggest daiquiri spots across the country. We have a big plan. We have big goals for Airport Daiquiris. We have one in Houston right now next to Hobby Airport. Um, Hobby Airport flies in about 15 million people a year. Uh, we are now going to open up one next to McCarran Airport here in Las Vegas. Well, McCarran Airport has 51 million passengers a year. So, if you do the numbers and you do the math and you do the projections and the forecasts and all that, you will see like, okay, well, we are making a big move for Airport Daiquiris by coming to Las Vegas. And it's not going to stop there. We're going to go into California and we're going to be in LA right there on Melrose or Fairfax or something. That's the next step. So, it's just going to keep going. And Airport Daiquiris is going to be your daiquiri spot when you get off a plane, any major city in the United States. And then, once the franchises start growing, they're going to be all over the place. So the goals are big. The plan is big. Uh, everybody loves to drink and have a good time. And daiquiris are a great thing to do that with. Uh, they're a different, it's a different vibe. It's a different atmosphere. It's a tourist drink. And that's what we really want to push is we are airport daiquiris. Wherever you're coming from, whatever you're doing, you're going to stop at your airport. You're going to stop by Airport Daiquiris. You're going to start your weekend. Or you're going to start your business trip. Or you're going to start whatever you're doing there. You're going to start your trip with us. And that is our goal. That is the plan. That's the concept.
Nice, man. So you said something interesting there. You said, street marketing when you first began. And that's something that I want to talk a little bit more about because a lot of people they think marketing you have to have like thousands of dollars to start. You have to buy all these courses, take all these seminars. You have to spend a ton of money. So what about for the people? Did you have that money to spend in the beginning, or was it just you were? What was your background like? Was it more you already came from a more wealthy place, or was it more you started from the bottom? What was that like, and what were some of those street marketing?
So started from the bottom. Started, like people, living in your car at one point. Like
Mm,
going to hotels and different things because you made the wrong business decision. So and along the way, I'm sorry, what was the question again? I got lost in that one. What was
just
that?
just the street marketing. Like, what was the way of that you got your name out there, your brand out there, your restaurant out there without spending like
so,
thousands and
so, so you're gonna spend money. Whatever your budget is your budget. In business, you should have budgets. You should have a marketing budget annually, quarterly, all that stuff. You should create that. Think about all the money you're spending on nothing. On stuff that means nothing. When you can invest in marketing, and people don't realize that until it's sometimes too late for businesses. So uh, the the marketing, you don't need a lot of money. Like, so what we did is I got a social media influencer, and he, in the area that we were opening up, I got him and I said, look, you're going to be my promoter. I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars. You're gonna push. He had about 250,000 followers, and so he started pushing it on the south side of town of Houston, where we were opening up next to Hobby Airport. And we gained a lot of following, across, through all his following bases of Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and so forth. He had a lot of people following him at the time. So you know i invested I invested in a person, right? uh if I could do it all over again, I would never do that again in my life, right? I would always invest in myself. I would always invest in my ideas and on my brain. But at the time, it worked. We got a lot of followers. We opened up the store with maybe like about 9,000 followers on our Instagram page. And we look at some of these daiquiri spots that they've been in business 3 4 years and they barely have 2 or 3 thousand followers. But they didn't invest in marketing to be able to grow their social media platforms. Where we did, we took our team to the hottest nightclubs in Houston, and and we spent money, and we had the DJ shout us out, and we really, so that's what I mean by street marketing. So we really put a street marketing team together where we were out with Airport Daiquiris merchandise on. We're running around with hoodies, and everybody's like, "Where do y'all get those?" We weren't even open yet. And they're like, "What is Airport Daiquiris?" We did this for like about 9 months before we ever opened the doors.
Mhm.
So, when it was time to open, we killed it. The first year we killed it, made almost $500,000, and it's just up to you what you put into your business. It's like in anything in life. You got to work hard. I'm going to say that probably a couple times throughout this thing. You can't skip that, and you're not going to ever skip it. I don't care what anybody tells you or what anybody shows you on social media. You'll never be able to skip the grind. I can promise you, I know a lot of business owners that made it and a lot of that didn't. And the ones that did, they survived the grind. They survived it. They figured out how to take a loss and bounce back. Not to take a loss and lay down and say, you know what, I'm going to go get a job. I can't do this. This isn't for me.
Mhm.
So it's marketing is key. If you're not doing any marketing, you're wasting your time with whatever product or business or whatever you're trying to sell. You're wasting your time. You need marketing, however small of the budget it is to the biggest budget you can make for it. Our budget, hopefully, our goal next year for Airport Daiquiris, our budget will be $100,000 for marketing.
Mhm.
So after almost 3 years, in 3 years of being in business, we are going to build a marketing budget of $100,000 just on billboards and marketing and social media platform posts and just different things. That is going to be our budget. Our budget was probably maybe 5 to 10,000 when we first started. So we built that over the years, and we've continued to grow it and make it a point to grow the business that way. So now this, when we're able to get to that $100,000 budget, what happens to the business now? The business, it changes. Everything changes now. Now everybody is seeing your logo all over the place. And when that
Mhm.
happens, then you become McDonald's and you become Starbucks and you become Wendy's and you become a chain that is strong, and no one can stop you. No one can knock you down because you're too strong.
Mhm. Yeah, man. So, where'd you get your business skills from? Because this is another thing I talk about in this podcast a lot. We obviously weren't taught these things in school. A lot of times, often our parents didn't really teach us this because they didn't know either. So, where did you get your business and investing skills from? Did you have previous businesses, or was this your first one, or how did that start? What was your growth like and journey as a businessman?
So business for me started when I was probably maybe around 10, 11, 12 years old. So my family, I didn't come from a wealthy family. My dad was a police officer. My mom worked for the state. So we didn't have, and we had 9 brothers and sisters. In a 4 bedroom house. So I didn't come from a lot of money. I didn't come from a business family. I didn't go to business school. But what I did do is I put myself around a lot of business people.
Mm,
So when I was young, my aunt and uncle, they own video stores and dollar stores and Pizza Huts and just different things. Well, I was always over there with them because I liked that. I liked their lifestyle. I liked the way they lived. They had a nice house and nice cars. They had a limo. So I'm like, man, I got to go hang out with these people. So those are
mm,
my cousins that I grew up with. And so I would be at the store with them, late nights, and 2 in the morning they're leaving the store with $5,000 cash, and they're like, "Here, you hold it." And I'm like, "Man, this is crazy! Like, how are they leaving with $5,000 cash?" Like,
mm,
so that's when it really hit me that my parents weren't doing what they were doing, and uh, they weren't parents like they were parents. And it wasn't
mm,
nothing against my parents, that's just what that's the way they were brought up. That's the way they learned. That's what they knew.
mm,
So, I was learning something different on the side. I was always that kind of person. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to know more. I wanted to figure things out. Uh, so uh, once I learned that from them, I started working. And once I graduated high school, I was in trouble a lot and doing a lot of bad things. I wasn't a good kid and graduated with honors or none of that. Like you know, there's a lot of funny stuff, that I went through that could have put me in a different direction than what I am in now. Uh, but when I graduated high school, I started working in the refineries and odd jobs, different things, warehouses, and along that 10-year, 11, 12-year journey, I learned that I didn't belong, and I didn't belong there. I didn't belong. I needed to be doing something different, and everywhere I went, it just wasn't for me. And I was trying to find it, so, uh, my wife, she was doing taxes with her mom at the time, and for like maybe 4 or 5 years, and I was like, we need to open a tax spot. Let's open our own tax office. So she didn't want to. It took a couple of years for her to, of course, leave her mom and whatever. So we ended up opening our own spot, and we did the same thing, street market, and what we learned from that first business is what we used in with Airport Daiquiris, and
Mhm.
how to market. Even with our tax office, we really don't market like we should. Which is going to change this year. We're actually revamping some marketing for that. It's just we have so many clients, and it's becoming a real struggle to really keep everybody happy and keep without having to wait. So without having to hire an extra 5 people and deal with an extra, whole 5 more employees, and it's just sometimes business takes you in ways you don't know you're gonna go. You don't, like, uh, I'll be honest, I want to get out of Texas. I want to get out of that business. I want to sell it. I want to, that business is $1 million business. Anybody can buy. Give me 2 million, you can have it. And you're going to make that back real fast, and you're going to be making profit real fast. And that's business. That you can't fall in love. You gotta understand the goal is the goal. My goal in business is to better my lifestyle every year. So that's my
Mhm.
goal. Better my family's lifestyle every year. I don't need money. I don't need to. I'm not. I don't need to go get anything. But my job is to get better, and the only way I'm going to get better and make more money with my business is to set goals for myself. To say, you know what, I'm gonna get this next year. I want an airplane. I want that Airport Daiquiris private jet sitting at Hobby Airport or at McCarran
Mhm.
Airport or at LAX. You know,
Mhm.
that's what I want. That's the goal. That's the vision. And people laugh. People have been laughing at me about daiquiris for the last 3 years. You can't. You're going to sell daiquiris. You're going to make money selling daiquiris. Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of people that opened daiquiri spots after we did. People that called us and like, hey, can we have a business meeting? And we sat down and we helped them. Did we charge them? Yes, of course we charge them. There's nothing free. We can't. I can't give you everything I got in my mind for free. I can't
Mhm.
give you every step, but there are key points to becoming a business owner and becoming a successful business owner, and I know them all now. I know how to be a bad business owner. I know how to be a good
Mhm.
business owner. I know how to be a good boss. I know how to be a bad boss. So training employees and training people on life. That's what I do. I'm a motivator. I'm a hustler, and I'm gonna make sure that if you're around me, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna get new things. You're gonna buy new things. You're gonna better your life. And the people around me, they've done that along the way. People that aren't with me anymore. It was nothing personal. It's business, right? The only way to grow is to keep moving. And sometimes when you keep moving, I was telling somebody yesterday, he's having some issues with just staying focused and clear. And I told him, I said, think about it. You're running to a cliff right now, and there's an opening in the cliff. On the other side, you can make it, but you got to run really fast and really hard. And when you run really fast and when you run really hard and you jump, you're gonna make it to the other side or you're not. You're not. You're either going to succeed or you're going to fail. But I never once told that guy that he was going to be able to take anybody with him. So when I told him that when you jump, you can't be holding nobody's hand because what's going to happen? Y'all ain't going to make it. You got to jump by yourself, And when you jump by yourself, then boom, now you realize like, okay, you know what? I don't need anybody. All I need is myself. I don't need any investors. I don't need somebody trying to get a part of my business. I don't need that. I'm jumping by myself. It's my journey. And if I take somebody on it, it's because they deserve it. They earned it
Right.
or they paid for it. So that's business is a tough business. They talk about swimming with the sharks and all that. It's when I tell you that's 100% true, it's 100%. I seen them. I seen the little goldfish swimming around. I used to be the little goldfish, you know. So now I try to help the little goldfish. I try to help them because I know they're investing their whole life savings, into what they really believe in. And sometimes, just because you invest your money doesn't mean you're going to win. I've learned that. I've taken losses before, and it made me become who I am now. It made me a mean, firm uh, business owner that you can't take no shit from nobody. If you take shit from one person, you're gonna keep taking shit from everybody. And at the end of the day, if you're taking shit from people, it's because they're getting money. They're getting your money out of your pocket. Your job as a business owner is to create a product, create a brand that can get money out of the consumer's pocket. Correct. So we have to stay in that lane at all times. We have to always be doing something generated towards the consumer, the person that's going to consume your product. And a lot of people get caught up in different things in business. When the customer is the most important thing. If you can't please the customer, you ain't going to make any money. I promise. I promise. So a lot of the times these businesses don't make it because their customer service is bad. How many times you go eat and you're like, man, I had the worst experience in the world. I'm never going back there. So how many times does it happen in a day in your business, right? With the same employees that you're paying to give these customers a bad experience. It's a lot to it, and uh, you just gotta market your business and keep pushing, and don't stop. You can't stop. When you stop as a business owner, that's it. You might as well sell your businesses, retire, and go play golf. That's what I'm waiting on. That's
So we spoke briefly about some of the difficulties that you had as a businessman. So what are some of those? Because obviously we see a lot, especially in today's social media age. Everybody wants to portray themselves like I'm so successful, I have all this money, I'm so rich, but really it's nothing like that. So and even
yeah.
if somebody is like has that type of money, a lot of people don't see that struggle and all the difficulties of getting to that point. So what were some of the struggles you had to deal with from when you first started to maybe even struggles you're dealing with now?
Shoot, the first struggle, the money, any struggle in business has to do with money, right? Money is everything in business. If you're not making money, you're not going to win, and you're not going to be happy, you're not going to succeed, and no one's going to be able to eat. So the focus is money, and the focus is you got to have a passion to get that money, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, you talk about money. I say money because money comes from the business, right? So you set up the business and it's designed to make money. So I'm not skipping the business part, but you have to be passionate about your business to even make any money, right? So it's like me. Like I live in Las Vegas, a store in Houston. If I don't go to Houston twice, 3 times a month, I will lose probably 10 to 15 thousand a month.
Mhm.
That's crazy, huh? It's crazy. But I'm not the only business owner having to deal with that. There's business owners that are at their business every day and losing money from employee customers or employees or whatever's going on, stealing or just whatever, right? Giving products away, giving things away that and you're losing money daily. Uh, Track your money. If you're a business owner, you need to track every every cent down. Like do not lose money. Like
Mhm.
as a business owner, what I know now, you have to track everything. Inventory, whatever you're selling, you track it. You don't let nobody take advantage of the money and hard work that you're putting into your business and the products you're putting there to sell, and you're not making your return on it. That is a key to business, and that's any business. That's not just daiquiris or whatever. That's any business that you even you take any chance on. Uh, the struggles and the struggles are struggles, man. Like I didn't go on a vacation for 2 years.
Mhm.
My family couldn't go on a vacation for 2 years, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, what's so wrong with that?" People don't, and not everybody takes vacations. Well, when you take vacations every year, like that is important to you and your family. those are things, your kids don't get to get everything they want to get. They don't get to buy everything they want to have. And, and sometimes that's good. But sometimes, as a parent, you want to be able to give these things. But as a business owner, when you make sacrifices, you're not making a sacrifice just for yourself. You're making a sacrifice for your whole family when you put up 350,000, $400,000 into a business and hope and pray that we're gonna win. We're gonna make money. So people always ask me, well, how much do you owe in your business? Do you have any partners? I don't know anything on my business. I paid everything cash. The only thing I do is lease a space. I lease a space. Uh, but I own everything. I can sell everything at any drop of the moment, and my business is worth money. On paper, the business is worth money. So you have to get your business to that point to be able to say, I'm not struggling no more, right? Your business has to be good on paper, right? Because if you can sell it, then you can make money. If your business isn't good on paper, you can't sell it. You're going to struggle with that business till you figure out how to sell it. And you're not going to sell it for, if your numbers aren't right, you'll never get the money you're asking for it. You have to you have to take that stuff serious, and people don't. They just like, oh well, I made $500 in cash today, or I made seven thousand on credit cards and 300 on cash or whatever. They're looking at it as money. You have to look at it as, this is, you're going to struggle if you don't take care of this money, right? So struggling is different for different people. Like, it's, the struggles is having to work 16 hours a day as a business owner and maybe not make no money, right, for a week or two. And you're working 100 hours a week. You're working like a dog. You're tired, and you're not getting a paycheck, but everybody at the business is getting a paycheck, right? So that's where the struggles come in, and you're like, man, well, how do I make money, right? Well, what do I do next? Like, everybody's getting paid. I made $100 this week, and I'm the business owner. How the heck does that happen? So, well, you better go look at your payroll. You better figure out your payroll. You better get behind that bar. If it's a daiquiri spot, you go work the bar and make the money instead of paying somebody, right? So, as business owners, you have to find solutions. A lot of people, everybody learns how to find the problems. We all can find problems all day long, everywhere we go. But can you find solutions? The successful business owners find solutions. Anybody comes to me with a problem, employees, whoever it is, I don't even address the problem. The first thing I tell them is, what is the solution?
Mm,
Because I don't want to talk about the problem no more. I don't even want to talk about the problem. I want to talk about what solutions that are going to fix that problem. And that's what I can help you with, because I can't help with problems. If you're worried about problems, you're not worried about solutions. So I worry about solutions. And as a business owner, that's what you have to do. That's some fucking key shit I just gave you right now.
mm.
Solutions, not problems.
And yeah, you're saying a lot of good shit in this podcast, man. So I appreciate you coming on again. But was there any point during your journey as a businessman that you wanted to give up? And like, what kept you going if you did want to give up in certain times? Like, that's something I talk about here on this podcast. Is a lot of people give up way too soon. They expect things way too fast. They don't realize it often takes years of hard work, and consistency, and keep going. And you'll lose friends. You'll lose. You'll sacrifice a lot of things. So, was there any point when you wanted to grow?
Yeah.
Give up? Yeah. Was there any point you wanted to give up?
Uh,
And what kept you going during those times?
so giving up is never even a question. Like, you don't even, like, as a business owner, if you have that in your mind, you're gonna fail. I will never lose, because I'll never give up. You heard that before. I'll never give up. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's a damn ping pong match, right? That's just in my blood. That was where I was raised, competitive. So giving up was never, figuring out. So along the way, you lose a lot of things, and you don't give up. You never give up the goal, right? So you might have to give up employees, salaries. You might have to give up your time and have to go into work. You never give up what you invested your whole life for. You never give up your investment, unless that you can't make money. And I did that. I had a concrete construction business, and I partnered up with a guy. So we'll get into that too. I partnered up with a guy, and he had a lot of promises, and I was part of it, and I said, okay, I'm gonna invest in it, and I lost a lot. I lost about almost 100,000 on that deal, right?
Mm.
So, but what I did was I betted on somebody else. That's where I fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. I'll never in my life bet on somebody else. Never again in my whole life. Never, 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 never. I don't give a damn how good it sounds, how much money you're going to give me millions. I will never in my life bet with anybody else. Never, unless it's on paper and I know I'm gonna get probably about 2 million, 3 million, something like that. That's different. But like when you're starting a business, you bet on yourself. You know why? Because humans will let you down. It's ugly. It's an ugly thing, but humans will let you down. And it's not even about that they wanted to. It's just life happens to us, and sometimes we go through things, and people go through things, and you end up losing focus, and it's okay. Losing focus is okay. You just got to figure out how to find it back. I just sometimes, along the way as a business owner, you learn that when people lose focus around you, you can't go try to keep making them making them get focused. You can't. It's you cannot fix somebody. They have to fix themselves. You can give them some games, talk to them, guide them. Yeah, but after a little bit, after a couple of times, to tell them the same thing, now they have to go figure it out. They have to go learn it from somebody else because they don't want to learn it from you. They didn't want to hear it from you. So you just got to let them go. And along the way, you lose people, you lose friends, you lose people you thought were family. You lose those people. And at the end of the day, what you really learn is they were never really friends. They were never really family. They depended on you for money to live the life that they're living, and I depended on them to give me pay to do a job for me to help me, right? So along the way, you can't get emotional in business. There's no emotions in business, and once you realize that, then a lot of things come easier. Like I'm not saying I fire and get rid of everybody. That's not what I'm saying. Sometimes you have to look out for yourself. Like at one point I was paying probably $150,000 in salaries, and to certain to multiple people totaled up to that. And then I really looked at it and I said, well, what are these people really helping me do? What are they really helping me accomplish? After 3 years, I had to reevaluate it and say, you know what, like I'm always in this bind or this hole. Well, if I had that extra 150,000 in my pocket, all I got to do is just go to work and work. Well, I'm gonna go to work and work, and I'm gonna make 150,000 extra dollars this year, and I'm gonna be able to do everything I need to do to continue to grow these businesses, right? Instead of having to still be in the same hole. So those some of those employees are with me for 5 6 years. Like they grew a part of they were a big part of the team, but that doesn't mean that they have to stay forever. Nothing lasts forever. Businesses don't last forever. uh People learn from businesses. I've had multiple jobs. I've had multiple jobs, and I've learned a lot of things. You can throw them in the forest and I'm gonna survive, because I know a lot of different things that I chose to go learn. And a lot of people, they're like, well, how did you know that? I chose to go learn it. I chose to read that book. I chose to read that article. I chose to go to that seminar and listen to that guy. I chose those things. I invested in myself, right? I invested in, my brain, my knowledge, and now, like, the way I feel is like there's not a business is a blueprint. Like once you get the blueprint to business, you're good. You're in. There's you got it. You can't fail. If you fail, it's because you just stop working and you don't care. You know, once you get that blueprint, and I got that blueprint, I got it. It took me a lot of years to get it and figure it out and learn it and figure out how to say, you know what, this is what I got to do right now, and boom, make an extra 2 3 thousand this week. Oh well, let's do this week. Let's market this product. Let's make an extra 4,000. Right. So now I know how to do these things. Where before you're like, damn, we're not making no sales. What do we do? Well, what are you not doing? You know what I
Right.
mean? Every Everything is on this cell phone. If you don't know something, it's because you don't want to know it. You want to know marketing? Get online right now after this damn podcast and type in on your search and say, I want to know whatever I want to know right there, and you. I promise you, you can read about it and you will learn it. It's that
Hmm.
freaking simple. But then it goes back to that whole they don't want to. They want to skip the hard part. The hard part is learning. The hard part is hitting your head. A couple times and being like, damn, I didn't. Man, okay, all right. Well, that's part of the grind. Uh, we're gonna we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun next year with Airport Daiquiris when we open the McCarran right next to McCarran. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. So, there's a couple more things I want to ask before we start wrapping this up. Because I have a lot of business friends that watch this. I have a lot of, obviously employee friends. I have a lot of people thinking about starting a business. So for you, what is it that makes a good boss or leader? Because obviously, we all know, like, we all hate, majority of us have hated our bosses, have hated, the manager. We see like the manager isn't really in our corner. They won't really take up for, their employees. They're talking bad to their employees. They're just kind of seeing them as, oh, you're just replaceable to me. So what makes a good manager or leader or boss, in your opinion?
Damn, I'm gonna give you the best one right now. You asked a good question. That's a good question. So, what makes a good manager or boss is someone who can build a team. That's it. That's the key. If you can build a team that can actually produce for you, you're a really good manager and you're a really good boss. But if you can't build a team and you have a bunch of employees that all have different goals, different personalities, and different ways of moving, you're not a good boss. And you know why? Because you hired all those people.
Mm,
So it starts with the hiring process.
mm,
You have to screen people before you hire them. Like anybody can you have to create your own interview that matters for your business, right? You have to create an interview that matters for your business, not an interview that you took off of the internet and like what questions do I ask, right? Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do that. Start with some of those questions; those are good, but you have to create an interview for your exact business, so people will you can get the information out of them without by just asking them the business questions that you have for your business. Uh, I just we just right before this call, I was on an FaceTime interview for a bartender in Houston that we just hired. But we FaceTime interview. We have face to face interviews. I want to know how you talk. I want to know how you interact. I want to know how you're going to speak to my customers I've got to come in there for the last 2.5 3 years that I make sure that they have good experiences there. By the people I hire. So if you're not getting what you want out of the people that you are working with, because I'm not saying I didn't say the people that you are managing or telling what to do. I said by the people you are working with, right? When I go to Houston and I go over there, I don't go over there as a boss. I go over there as a teammate. We are a team. The team goal is to get money. If we're not all getting money, then we're losing somehow. We got to figure it out, right? So, you know, I look at different totally business totally different. Like now than what I did back then. Like back then, you just hire employees, right? No, you got to build a team. Where did I get that from? I get that from Jeff Bezos. I get that from the guy. What's his name? Ma. Ma. His name's Ma. From the guy that
Jack
owns
Ma.
Alibaba, right?
Yeah, Jack
Right.
Ma.
So these guys, they tell you you have to have a team. Like I'm not getting this because I created it. There is a blueprint to business. You have to go find it. You have to figure it out. You have to learn it. And you have to go. You have to go through it. You can't. You're not going to learn it overnight. No one does. You have to go through it. Put yourself around business people. This right here. This is like to me like this is gold. What we're doing right now. For
Mhm.
you to be giving this to your following, that makes you like a hero to me. You know what I mean? Because for someone to actually, invest their time and put this together, you're a fucking hero, bro. Like the shit I'm giving you right now is crazy. Like if they applied one or two things to the business after this, like they're gonna call you and be like, bro, that motherfucker knows what he's talking about. And it ain't because I'm cocky or not. No, I've been investing my life in becoming who I've became. I get my ass up in the morning, I work out hard. I shit, I'm on my phone. My job is a lot on my phone. So as soon as I get up, I work out, I'm shower, and boom, breakfast, and I'm on that phone. I'm working, I'm having, spend some quality time with family. Boom, now I'm on. It's on. Interviews, meetings, FaceTime, Zoom calls, all this stuff we're doing right now, the same stuff. This is my daily schedule. Where before, what I was doing 10 years ago, I would get up at 6 in the morning. I would go to a refinery and I would go into these gates of hell and I would sniff all the bad chemicals and shit. That's that's what I did. And I don't knock anybody for doing that. They make a great living, they work hard, and I respect them. That just wasn't for me.
Mhm.
Sorry. That
Yeah,
just
yeah.
wasn't for me. And it's okay. You can want more for yourself. You don't have to. The problem with the education system is they tell you to become an employee. They are training you to become an employee. No one teaches you business skills. No one teaches you anything. Then when they tell you, "Oh, we'll offer you business," well, how much do you have to freaking pay for it at college, right? And then you're in business.
Mhm.
You're in debt with loans and business loans and all this stuff. To me, the U.S. has the government has the biggest Ponzi freaking scheme in the world. Education. That's their Ponzi scheme. Colleges, right? They have colleges all over the damn place. They create colleges all over the place, right? So the reason why is because they make money. Because people are going to pay to go get an education that 99% of the time they probably won't even use. I know so many people that have college degrees that don't even use them because they can't find a job in the field, or it's hard, or their field's capped out with people right now, and they have to wait, or they have to start from the bottom and make nothing to be with the degree, just to be able to become a manager or boss one day.
Mhm.
So, when I teach my kids, it's business stuff. It's not yeah they do school and they're educated, they learn multiplication and all the good stuff you need to learn, but at the end of the day, like that's not making them become who they are becoming. What's making them becoming who they are is the business advice that they get daily from the parents. The life lessons that they learn daily that we don't allow them to get away with just because they are privileged kids now. Or but you got to remember they didn't come from that. My kids have went through the grind with us from nothing to where we are now. So uh, they deserve it. They deserve it, I I want to give it to them because they stuck by me. Like no matter what. Even when Dad says no. Like they still stuck by us, and that's key. So now it's like, all right, let's go, let's do it. Where y'all want to go? What do y'all want to do? Like y'all were down for me. I'm down for you. So along the way, what you learn is those people that were down for you, they were really down for you. And those are the people that you have to really hold that bond with and really, really try to push them to success. And the people that didn't make it, there's nothing wrong with that. They're going to find their own success. They people that come around us and our businesses and employees, they don't learn just business, or they don't learn just how to pour a daiquiri in a cup. These people are learning life lessons, and they're learning skills that they're going to last forever, for lifetimes. We don't my goal is to motivate you, and if I can motivate you and turn you into a hustler, and somebody who wants to go after a goal, then I did my job. I did my part. Because when you leave me, like I already know there's people that have worked for us and own their own businesses now. They learned from us and they went and opened their own businesses. I'm not mad at them for doing that. Like more power to you. Good luck. You know, like I understand what it takes to be a business owner. So taking that leap, right? You take that leap, yeah, you gotta leave everybody behind. So I don't even remember the question. I'm just rambling.
It's all good. So that was actually the last topic I wanted to bring up because we spoke a little bit briefly before this, and I want to talk about your parenting style because I said this before. You're an awesome father, man. Like
Appreciate that.
a lot of times what I see is I call it baseline parenting. And baseline parenting to me is like, okay, let me push you to school, let me make you get a job, I'll pay for your college, and then you figure out the rest of, after you graduate, try to figure it out on your own. A lot of kids, they come out of high school or college and they're like, okay, what do I do now? How do I do my taxes? How do I get a house? How do I, do my credit? They know they're missing like so much in life. And it's active parenting is what I call it. Seems like you actually take the time, like you don't just listen to the school. Like a lot of parents, they listen to the school and what the school says about their kid. Like, hey, your child is this, your child has a problem with this, your child is whatever, and he's talking too much. Instead, you take like an active, like, what can I do for you? What can we do together? You're my children. I'm here for you. Like, let's. If I don't know the problem, I'm going to solve this problem and help you solve the problem. I'm gonna do what I need to do as a father to help you succeed. So where did that come from? Is that something that's your own upbringing, or was that something you learned on the way? And what are some good parenting skills that you want to pass on to other parents to help raise, their children in the most positive way that they can?
I think I like the number one saying that I say is like, you know, be the parent that you didn't have growing up. The parent that you wanted growing up, that you needed, right? So, that's how I raise my kids. I raise my kids to know that when they need me, I need to be there. I need to talk to them. I need to be a part of whatever's going on, because a lot of times in life, all these kids are going through a lot of things, and the parents are not involved. They're not a part of it, and they can't help them. They can't help them get through it because they're not a part of their kids' lives. Uh, I mean, it's like parents. They will text their friends or boyfriends, girlfriends 100 times a day, but they won't text their kid one time. So uh, it just becomes a priority. What's your priority? Like, is your priority as a parent? I'm going to kick my kid out at 18 after they graduate. They got to go. They got to get an apartment or whatever. Or is your priority? My goal is I had these kids, and they're my responsibility, and what they become is what I made them become. So it's so I take full pride in what they are going to become and what they're going to have and what they're going to be as adults. A lot of parents are they try to hide things or try not to attack things that are risky or things that they really don't know how to talk about. And I feel like that is the worst mistake you can do, because like my kids, a lot of people were like, oh, they're going to be bad kids, and they're around all this stuff and drugs and uh, parties and all this, like parties in LA and parties in Miami, and like they had their own outlook on it, on things, and I just feel like everything that my parents tried to hide from me, I found it. I found it. I mean, let's be honest. We everything they tried to hide, we found out. So my approach is, I'm not going to hide anything. I want you to be educated on everything that this world has to throw at you. And if I can do that, then we ain't gonna have no problem. We ain't gonna have no major issues. So the major issues come from like you know lack of communication. That's at the end of the day, that's everything is communication. It's like, even me, I try to work on being a better parent. When I get up in the morning, I try to hug my daughters, and when I see my son, they come downstairs or whatever they're doing. Hey, how you doing? So I give them a hug. You have to be want to be a good parent. It's not, it just don't happen on accident. I wish it did. Uh, but my kids they've seen a lot, been around a lot. They know a lot. They know a lot of business. They've worked in a business. They've worked in businesses. They have job. They basically work for the businesses. They have jobs. They make money. My son's 15. My daughter's 17. They make an income for themselves already. By working and doing whatever we need them to do for the businesses. Uh, so a lot of parents, they want to use their kids like as slaves, right? Like, oh, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but that's not why you really had them. Like, okay, if you want to use them like that, why don't you reward them? Give them a reward. Don't make them feel like they're your slave, because now when you're trying to tell them something important, they're not going to hear it. They're not going to listen, because they're like, oh, I'm just their slave anyways. What the hell? I'm just going to have to go get their soda in a minute anyways. Like, so if you create that relationship with your kids, well, whatever you create with your kids' relationship, that is the way the relationship's going to be. My kids, they can tell me anything. We can talk about anything. We were talking about LeBron James' son getting caught smoking weed on. He sent it to, he put it to his story, and everybody, and when I told them, I was like, you don't think LeBron James knows his son smokes weed? Like, do you think that's a secret?
Yeah.
This guy, he has enough. The son has enough balls to put it on and to send it to his close friends, like that know his dad, and you know what I mean. Like, so what I told them is like, your parenting is all in how you want to parent. Uh, my job as a parent is to not be your friend, but we're going to be real close and real tight. Where I have your back, and I know you have my back. And once you get to that point with your kids, like you are gonna be able to excel. They're gonna be able to help you in whatever you're doing. They're gonna want to help because they know you're working hard and they know you're doing good things. It's relationships are everything, and your kids' relationship is the most important because you are gonna get old and you ain't gonna be able to walk, and they're gonna have to push you around.
I got you, man. So to wrap all this up, one last question: what is your specific definition of success, and what are some specific keys that have applied to you in your life to gain success?
Success is success is happiness. It's you know I can tell you money, right? You say it's about the money, but you get the money so you can be happy and do things you want to do, so you can be more happy, right? So I feel like success is you get to a point where you're happy, your family's happy, the people around you are happy, uh, and you get up and you can live every day without knowing you owe somebody, or you screwed somebody over, or you did bad business with somebody. Like, when you can get up in the morning and say, what, like, I don't, no one's calling my phone on about no BS. Everybody's calling me for positive stuff. Your days are going to go good. You're going to be a happy, successful person. uh, I mean, that at the end of the day, anything other than that is bullshit. It's bullshit. Everybody's trying to be happy. You want to be happy, and the only way to be happy is to make everybody around you happy. And the keys to that are, you got to have passion, you got to have dedication, and you got to be willing to take a risk. You know, those are the things that I do all day long. I'm passionate, dedicated, and I'm willing to take risks on myself. Those are the keys to a successful business owner.
Awesome, man. Well, I love it. Well, that will be the end of this episode. For everybody listening again on Spotify, check out the YouTube if you want to see a live video of it. And also, Manny, where can people reach you? And if you want to put out your social media or your websites or anything like that.
So follow me at Airport Daiquiris on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You can also, if you want to follow my personal account, uh, it's Airport Manny at Airport Manny, and I got a CBD business as well. It's called
Oh,
F12
shit.
Cannabis
Mhm.
at F12 Cannabis. What else we got? And Money Market Financial Services. Tax season's coming up. Everybody needs their taxes done. You do not have to come to our office. You can email your documents. We do everything remote. So we've been in business for almost 12 years now. It'll be 12 years this year, and look forward to continuing to do good business and gaining more clients.
Awesome, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming
Appreciate
on.
you having me. Yeah,
No
appreciate you
problem,
having me,
man.
Kai. Thanks a lot, bro.
Awesome
I hope
episode,
this. I hope
everybody.
this
Yeah.
really helps everybody out, and your business owners and stuff that needed advice. I hope I was able to accomplish something for you today, and reach out to me. And if you have any more questions, appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, everybody else, thank you very much and take care.